Fractures and healing process. Types of fractures.
Closed or simple fracture, a fracture in which the skin remains intact. Open or compound fracture, a fracture in which at least one end of the broken bone tears through the skin, carries a high risk of infection. Transverse fracture, occurs straight across the long axis of the bone. Spiral fracture, bone segments are pulled apart as a result of a twisting motion. Comminuted fracture, several breaks result in many small pieces between two large segments. Impacted fracture, one fragment is driven into the other, usually as a result of compression.
Green stick fracture, a partial fracture in which only one side of the bone is broken. Oblique fracture. An oblique fracture only occurs at an angle that is not 90 degrees.
Fracture healing process.
At the beginning of bone repair, a bone breaks. Blood flows from any blood vessel torn by the fracture. These vessels could be in periosteum, osteons, and or medullary cavity. The blood begins to clot, and about 6 to 8 hours after the fracture, the clotting blood has formed a fracture hemorrhage. The disruption of blood flow to the bone results in the death of blood cells around the fracture. Within about 48 hours after the fracture, chondrocytes from the endosteum have created an internal callus by secreting a fibrocartilaginous matrix between the two ends of the broken bone, while the periosteal chondrocytes and osteoblasts create an external callus of hyaline cartilage and bone, respectively, around the outside of the break. This stabilizes the fracture. Over the next several weeks, osteoclasts reabsorb the dead bone. Osteogenic cells become active, divide and differentiate into osteoblasts. The cartilage in the calli is replaced by the trabecular bone via enchondral ossification. Eventually, the internal and external calli unite. Compact bone replaces spongy bone at the outer margins of the fracture, and healing is complete. A slight swelling may remain on the outer surface of the bone, but quite often the region undergoes remodeling and no external evidence of the fracture remains.
Chumbalaka, chumbalaka, chumbala. Chumbalaka, chumbalaka, chumbala. Chumbalaka, chumbalaka, chumbala. Chumbalaka, chumbalaka, chumbala.